Good morning, everyone. Um, those of you who don't know me, my name is Joanne. I own Doux Yoga and Sugartown Sweet Shop here in Crockett, California. And I wanted to tell you about an incident that happened to me yesterday. So, yesterday was a busy day. I had the lunch rush by myself, and you never know when the high school kids are going to get out for lunch. So, it was a pretty hectic afternoon. I had a line of people who were waiting at the sweet shop to be served, and a man walked up and said, "Hey, I left my wallet at home. Just start making my two Angry Bird sandwiches." And so I kind of cheekily responded, "When you get back." And it's something that I think a lot of business owners, cafe owners can understand. You don't necessarily want to make an order, make food, unless someone's paid for it, because a lot of times people don't come back. So that I thought would be the end of it. Either he'd come back or not come back. So he left, and I continued to serve the rest of the people in line. So then I got a call, which I picked up, and it was that same man. And he explained, I live around the corner. I, have some urgency around needing my sandwich made. So my sandwich is made. So I need you to make my two Angry Bird sandwiches, and I'll be there in 5 minutes. So 5 minutes isn't a lot of time to make two sandwiches, especially when you have a, house full of people. So I said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. I have other people in line that I've got to tend to first. This made him very upset. I want to speak to your manager. So I said, "Well, I'm sorry, sir. I'm the owner, so the buck stops here." And that seemed to fuel his anger even more. "Well, I'm going to report you to the Better Business Bureau," to which I replied, "Thank you, sir. Have a great day." I mean, once someone brings up the Better Business Bureau in response to your refusal to make a sandwich, it's sort of a losing argument. So I decided, again, we're going to let this go. And I thought that'd be the end of it. So I get a call back, and this time I decided I'm not picking up the phone. I'm not engaging in an argument with somebody who's clearly upset, irate. So I decided to let it ring. My employee came in, and I sort of relayed the story. That was weird. And as I'm telling her the story, I get an alert on my phone, and it's a Yelp review. So I want to read the Yelp review to you. "If only 0 stars was optional, had the worst experience today with a young African-American female. Her breath was rancid. She looked as though she had not showered yet today or yesterday. I forgot my wallet and asked her to start making my order because my house was only a couple blocks away. Mind you, I was the only customer in line. However, her lazy mentality kept her from starting my order. So I called, and I got to the house realizing I was in more of a hurry now. Asking if she could start my order, I'd be right down. She told me she could not do that. I explained I was in a hurry and had just been down there. Her reply was, 'Nope, sorry, should have remembered your wallet.' Yes, what an ignorant reply. So I asked to speak to her manager. Her reply was that she was the manager and owner. At this point, I chuckled, thinking, how could someone with such a shitty attitude be the business owner? Maybe I'm wrong. Regardless, someone with a poor attitude and even poorer hygiene, working hands-on and speaking to customers, is absolutely mortifying." So I very kindly omitted the grammatical errors and the spelling errors because I think it's important to just sort of get the message. But a side note, why do people who are vulgar on the internet always misspell and speak with grammatical errors or write with grammatical errors? It's one of life's great mysteries. But let's sort of dive into this Yelp review, shall we? Thank you, by the way, for saying I'm young. I am a sprightly 36-year-old, so hearing I'm youthful at the onset of your rant was quite the delight. The note about me being an African American female within the first sentence sort of invalidates your argument entirely. Segueing into how I seemed unclean and had rancid breath, Lord knows you didn't have access to breathing the same air as me in that space because we didn't get close enough. Again, speaks volumes about your character. What I think speaks out more, though, to me is sort of the shock at the possibility that I could be a business owner. And so we'll just kind of leave it at that. This person called my business several times after, use expletives to refer to my employee because she refused to give the phone to me. And my husband, calling this person to make sure that there was no safety risk, was told that he was a superior race and that he would ruin us, which sort of lays it all out on the table. I mean, this is somebody who is clearly racist and is clearly outraged that he wasn't getting what he wanted, not in general, but in particular from a woman of color. Later on, I got another Yelp review, not on my sweet shop, by the way, but the yoga studio, inexplicably, from someone else. It looks like a dummy account, who also relayed a similar story that was also quite rambling and ridiculous. Both I've replied to, but, you know, I think in this climate, I have to advocate for the need for my safety and my right as a person of color to aspire to everything that is possible in this society and not feel as though anyone else has the right to take that away from me. And, you know, a lot of people would say, clearly this guy is an X, Y, and Z. Don't give him any energy. Don't give him any attention. And so I'm not going to say his name. It's not about him. It's about every day not knowing what really lurks behind someone's eyes. You know, when I tell other people that I'm the business owner, you know, is that surprise a surprise of delight? Is it a surprise of disgust? Is it someone who really thinks that I'm a rancid, unshowered, unkempt person, but also inexplicably wants me to make a sandwich for them? I don't like having to live my life that way. I don't like having to walk through the world questioning how people see me. And that's the life that people who look like me live every single day. And so if you wonder why there's sensitivity around racial issues, if you wonder why people feel uncomfortable, like there are no safe spaces, you know, I just want you to understand what people who look like me go through every day and why it hurts. It's easy to disregard someone who says something like this, but these little aggressions, these little incidents, they start to chip away at your sense of value. And that's not fair to me, and it shouldn't be acceptable. So I urge you to go to my Yelp page for Doux Yoga, D-O-U-X, and actually read the words and actually feel what it feels like to have someone go out of their way to try to make you feel worthless. And just think about how you can kind of be more aware in your life so that everyone has an opportunity to feel a sense of safety. Thank you for listening to my story, and I hope to see you around.